Hey everybody, my name is Mark, and today I'd like to talk to you about my Bestech Spanish tip razor. All right, so the Spanish tip razor. I just want to start by saying this is a really fun knife to own. This knife is baller. Whenever you are showing your knives off to friends, I work with a lot of people that, they carry knives, but they're not really knife people per se. I don't know how many knives they have really. They probably got a couple, but I don't believe they're collectors. And there's a lot of knives out there that they're just not familiar with. They don't watch a bunch of knife videos on YouTube or anything like that. They just carry knives. They use knives at work, and they're just typical people. Um, but I wouldn't really quantify them as like knife people. So this knife, when you're around a group of people like that, um, and you deploy this blade, I've actually heard like audible gasps before. Like this is the last blade shape that they are expecting to come out of this knife handle. It is a lot of fun to have. I really do love this knife. This is a Bestech, and Bestechs are just notoriously smooth and well-built knives. Bestech is one of the largest Chinese OEMs that there is, and along with a couple of others, We and Riot, they do really good work. Anyone that says Chinese stuff is junk, they are just wrong. And it's not just knives, the Chinese are doing stuff. So Chinese knives are fantastic. They are super smooth. The action on this knife is kind of amazing. You can have it, if you have it in just the right angle, it just is one of those knives that kind of defy gravity. And the D10, it just kind of clicks in. I don't know if it's because it's such a large knife, but it's kind of quieter than a lot of my other knives. So when I deploy this blade, it's, you definitely hear the detent click in, but it's kind of a thud. And then when you close it, it just it's a real kind of subtle ting that it makes. So it's kind of a quiet knife, but I just love it. I think it's fantastic. I had never seen one before. I bought this and I ran across it. I think this might have been on eBay. And this knife has been discontinued by Bestech. There's still a couple that you can buy. There's one that I've seen, and it's on eBay. There's another version of this G10, and it's kind of the same pattern, but it's like black and orange. These knives usually run about $250, and the one on eBay is brand new, and it's the black and orange, and it's only like $215, which is kind of a screaming deal for this knife. There are some other ones. There's like a micarta, like a linen micarta, and those are still available at, a lot of, I think Blade HQ has them still. DLT Trading might have some. So they're not kind of unattainable, but this is the only one like this that I've seen. Although, they were widely offered back in the day, and they were one of the, the ones that they sold. But nowadays, you don't see these. And I don't know why. I don't know if people are hanging on to it. I know I'm going to hang on to this. I'm probably never going to sell this knife just because of the wow factor. Like, it's so cool, I watched a reviewer, it was kind of a young kid, and he's like a New York street kind of knife reviewer, and he was a really cool dude. And he got this in, and I guess he had never seen it, so he did an unboxing video, and it was the funniest thing watching him, even sitting there in front of a camera by himself in the room. When he deployed the blade, he brought his hand up to his mouth and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like, it was funny to watch. The reactions that people have when they see this knife, and they kind of handle it and deploy the blade. It just really is a lot of fun. So I'm going to compare this to some other knives. I've got another Bestech, and it is a kind of a big boy like this other one. This is a Bestech Predator. This is an early version. I think it's number 81 out of 210 or something. These weren't super popular. I think they changed. This is one of the only styles like this that I've seen, but it's close to the same size. It's not quite as long. The Spanish tip razor, I believe this blade is 3.8 inches. So it's getting up there, and it weighs about, I want to say it was 4.7 ounces. I think they listed as like 136 grams. So it's not very heavy. When you take the scales off, it's kind of neat because there's liners in here, and when you take all of you take the bolster covers off, and you take the scales off, and you actually adjust this knife when it's still together, basically. So the liners don't come apart. There's still some other screws to take apart to do that. So you just pop everything off the outside, and then you're tuning a naked knife. I've got a couple of knives like that, and it's kind of weird to do. I think the Cybertrix is like that. And I can't remember what other knife, but yeah, it's always strange when you take a knife apart, and usually you wouldn't be able to still, like, have the pivot in place and tune it, and then just put the outside covers back on, basically. But this is one of those kind of knives. So I'm going to compare it to, this is a Poicolo Taro, and you can see this is kind of just a regular size knife, I would say. It might be probably about the same size as a Spyderco Paramilitary 2. I think it's a little bit bigger than a Para 3, but it is still quite a bit smaller than the Spanish tip razor. The Spanish tip razor, it's just an amazing knife to have. And again, I will never sell this knife. I really like it a lot. The people's reactions it makes it all worthwhile. And when you're carrying it and you know that, what you have in your pocket, it's like, right now I live in Florida, and when I'm carrying this on a weekend, I just kind of know that I may be the only person in the state that is carrying one of these. There might be one or two others, it's a big state, but this is not a very prevalent knife, but it's definitely worth having. And at $250, I think it's kind of a steal. So I just wanted to share this with you. I want everyone to see this knife. And, I've been into knives for a long time, and I had never seen it before. And I was sold the minute I saw it. I was like, okay, I'm buying that knife, and I'm going to keep it. So that is the Spanish tip razor. And I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you very much.